For those of you who may or may not be aware, the 151st running of the Kentucky Derby was this past weekend. It's always the first weekend in May. And Sovereignty won. Now, there were 19 horses in the field, and all of them are descendants of Secretariat. The cat. Now, there is, amongst any who watch horse racing, and I used to devoutly, but if you've ever seen the one-season series Luck, it is frightfully honest about just how many horses get hurt in this sport just for us. And while, yes, I will acknowledge that the jockeys do have to do a certain amount of work, not much more than a driver in a race car does, though. So the jockey, while they get abused in whole different ways, is not really the athlete on the field. The horse is. And what those horses get put through, broken legs, often, blown tendons, frequently. Now, horses have chiropractors because of what we do to them. And let's not forget the constant pain management. He has a little whip there, so, just in case he needs a little bit more pain. However, Secretariat had over 660 registered foals. And there's a huge debate amongst those of us who watch horse racing. Who would have won, ManOWar or Secretariat? Now, ManOWar, who would have been my personal favorite in that particular race, he only sired, 386 foals. However, this is not the fault of ManOWar, who lived to be 30. Secretariat, amazingly enough, only lived to 15. Maybe it was all the breeding that did it to him. But the owner of ManOWar, whose most famous offspring was War Admiral, he had this idea after a certain point, after the first 2 years of breeding, that he would only breed mares that he owned, as opposed to studying ManOWar out. And because he chose that path, how much money was coming in kept decreasing, which means the quality of the mares he was buying was decreasing. And so my statement is, it's not the stallion's fault that you bought crap mares. I know that Secretariat never reached his top speed. Neither did ManOWar. However, ManOWar doesn't have the Derby, doesn't get to claim to be a Triple Crown winner because he was sick when the Derby happened. That's how he didn't get to go in it. And then, of course, there's the one race by a horse aptly named Upset. But either way, I'm sure it was an exciting race. I do hope no horses got hurt. And both stallions were studs.